Hello, this is Wakas from Smart Sensor Solutions. Smart Sensor Solutions are distributors and integrators for Lace Pico. Lace Pico are Germany based and they have counting and security products. The counting solutions include people counting, which which is both for indoor and outdoors, and bike counting and traffic counting. The counting is done using different types of hardware components. For outdoors, the counting is done using a laser scanning device that creates four curtains of laser, two for one side and two for the opposite side. The counting is 98% accurate, and we are also able to differentiate between an adult and children. The indoor counting is done using an AI powered stereo camera that gets installed on the ceiling. For both indoor and outdoor counting, the data is shown in a user-friendly online portal, which is this over here. The URL is portallacepico.com, and every customer of our counting solution gets access to this portal. It is quite an in-depth information portal, and you can generate different custom reports with the data of passers-by and visitors. You can see live real-time data, see data during the course of the day, see historic data, and compare different locations, compare different entrances of a location, and compare different locations in aggregate, and do path analytics of visitors, see turn-in rate. Turn-in rate is when you want to see how many of those passers-by are coming in the building, and you also see conversion data, that is how many visitors are turning into customer. This conversion is done using by combining data from of revenue data of which is provided by the customer, and we combine it in this system with the visitors data and calculate the conversion. So every customer of our counting solution gets access to this online portal. So let's see how this works. So once logged in, you will see the tabs on the top. These are the tabs. And I'm seeing this screen because I was working on this screen when I last logged out, and the portal just remembered my last session and showing me the same with my current login. Okay, let's start and see what each tab includes in it. Let's start from left to right, and the first one is the cockpits. Here we see all different cockpits. Cockpits are for short analysis or quick look at the numbers. In the cockpits, the most important figures are presented in simple and understandable way, and you can see in real time passers-by for outside or how many visitors you currently have for inside and how different locations are doing. And these are the different cockpits here. And each cockpit is for different purposes. So let's start with the most logical one, which is the people counting. So this cockpit is the central point of contact for all rapid analysis relating to people counting at a specific location. The cockpit is divided into four areas. And each of these areas answers a specific question. So this is the the information about the passers-by in a day, and this is during the course of the day, and this is This information shows us tops and flops means what were the busiest days and what were the least busiest days. So flop is the least busiest day, and this window tells us the historic data. So here we can see for days and for years, and we can see that it is updated in real time. Let's move on to the real-time cockpit. The real-time cockpit is essentially the upper left box of the people counting cockpit, and the focus of this cockpit lies in the simple, clear presentation of the most important metric for people counting, which is today's visit, current occupancy, today's passersby, and the capture rate. We see that only passersby metric is shown here, as we do not have any online indoor sensors that could send the visitors data or the occupancy data. So depending on the sensors, all or only part of the metrics are available here. You can define which metrics you want using this drop-down menu. Let's move on to another cockpit, which is the entrance overview. So in people counting, people counting cockpit always displays the metric on a location basis. However, if you have location with several entrances, you can use this cockpit. So you can use this cockpit to view the visits of various entrances in detail and compare between them. Let's move on to the location benchmark cockpit. So again, for people counting, always displays metrics of on a location basis, and the entrance overview cockpit looks at individual inputs or sensors of a location to compare several locations and their performance using different metrics. We see this location comparison cockpit. So in people counting, the passers-by data was coming from all the entrances or all the location in the case of an outdoor location. For example, there are 4 sensors installed in a city. In people counting cockpit, we see the cumulative result in the top left window of the people counting cockpit. So this is the cumulative data. However, in the location benchmark, we see the data from several locations, and here we can compare them. So let's move on to location benchmark. Sorry, the report collection cockpit. This cockpit represents a very simplified version of Report Designer, and I will discuss this later. And in this cockpit, we can choose from different stored reports and compare your locations on a specific day, week, and month or year, or compare different days, weeks, months, or years with each other. So let's wait. Sometimes it takes a little bit time to load the data. So we see the focus is on visits. We don't have any indoor data coming from any indoor sensors, so we will switch to passers-by. And so here we see all the comparison of different locations with each other. So here we see different cities. These are all the demo cities. We see here the revenue, the conversion rate, and turn-in rate. So this is quite cool because here you can see how different locations are doing, how people are converting to customers. What is the turn-in rate? Meaning again, how many passes by were passing the street, and how many of them came inside. So we can all switch between these features. These may not work because we don't have the revenue data. We don't have um, indoor sensors which could work with the outdoor sensor to provide us this filter. Alright, let's move on to another cockpit. Right, so see the path analytics, um, as I mentioned, we do not have any indoor sensors. This cockpit will not show anything as we are only getting data from the outdoor sensor. This cockpit is your control center for all aspects of zone measurement, dwell time, walking patterns, and motion heat maps. So if you have any indoor locations and you want to track how people, what is the usual path the visitors are taking, we can use this, but this only works with the number of indoor sensors installed. They work together and give us all the analytics about the path taken by the visitors. All right, so many other are available, but they you know they will not show something because they are only for indoors, and we don't have any data coming from indoor sensors. But we have this user guide over here. We can get quite good help from this user guide, which give information about all of these cockpits. So let's move on to the dashboards. So this is a place to see all the custom reports created using Report Designer. Again, I'm going to talk about it in a minute. So you can add as many dashboards as you want. This is one dashboard. You can also add another dashboard with different reports, and you can add as many reports in a dashboard as much you want. Okay, now let's move to Report Designer. So this is for a customer, designing a custom report. Let's create a report. So the way to do that is that you add all these metadata by just clicking on it. It will get added, and country. We have location, so let's not use country. Client. Let's add a date, and let's add passes by, left to right, right to left. Once we have done that, we can hit execute report, and it will generate the custom report. And as you can see, there are different other metadata that we can use to generate our custom reports, and we can see in a nice graph manner. We can then save these reports, and use it in dashboards. And once they are in dashboards, we can save it in in any format we want, in Excel or in a chart form. All right, let's move on to subscriptions. So in this area, you can manage your subscriptions and endpoint groups. The subscriptions are used to send reports at regular intervals. So the reports we have created, you can send those reports to whoever has subscribed for it. So they can be sent to individuals or to some group of users. And those users, we define them over here. This is very self-explanatory. We can add user over here. The locations will show the locations where all the sensors are installed and their statuses. So currently we see the red, if that means this location it's offline. And sensors will show the sensors, the list of sensors that a customer has. So this concludes the presentation for this online portal. If you have any questions, please let us know. My email address is waqas.zia@smartsensorsolutions.com. Thank you. Bye-bye.